It is Wednesday, which means Monday and Tuesday have passed us by already. Been busy working. Not to say that the store hasn't been ticking along, and it has, as you'll see in a minute. But yeah, Wednesday morning, picking's already done for the day. But what's happened in the interim? Well, we are ticking along nicely, I'll be honest. We started the week back on Monday with 566,855 parts. And that was a drop from 572,000, and we dropped from 14,759 lots to 14,585. As it stands currently, though, we have continued to drop. So we have dropped another, what is that, like another 700 odd parts, and another 20 odd lots have dropped away, which you know, swings and roundabouts, isn't it? The vlog has been going really nicely the last couple of weeks, and thank you to everybody that has commented. The ladder has been very popular, hasn't it? Just to keep you abreast of where we are, it is the 26th of February, which means there are 2 days left, obviously. In terms of uploads here on the left, nothing's changed and probably won't. That'll probably be a weekend job if there's anything to upload. Revenue's doing nicely. We're above the 1 million target. And in terms of percentage sold of the store, as you can see, we have sold well in excess of both targets. The target for 5% sold at the beginning of the month was 27,900 parts, and we have sold 35,769 parts so far this week, I should say. In terms of kind of where we're sitting, the week 8 had been the best one of the year, which is a strange phenomenon, because quite often you'll feel like you're having a bit of a crap week, or you'll feel like orders are small. You know, these last couple of days are a case in point. There are an awful lot of small orders, which is very good when you're time poor in terms of picking, but it does kind of give you this false sense that perhaps things aren't great now. When was it? Kind of Sunday night? Was it Sunday night? Where there was a lot of big orders. The wife helped me pick. There were big orders and stuff like that, and then kind of she helped me do she actually did the post for me on Monday. I haven't done any posts since, so this is Monday and Tuesday's orders. Today's Wednesday. The post will get done this morning, and then we'll probably do the post again on Friday. For the next couple of weeks, that's probably going to be the routine, kind of posting twice a week before we get a bit more of a routine flowing together. But anyway, let's just have a little crack through what is the orders, and I'll show you a few other things whilst we're here. One of these big fat chunky wheels off to New Zealand, that one. 3 of them, little bars with a clip on the end. There's a fair few domestic letters. Little bundle of parts, tan, light blue grey, dark blue grey. Not sure what that is. Kind of, there's a couple of turntables in there. Could be anything really, couldn't it? Interesting little selection of dark tan, tan, red, sand green. Again, excuse me, could be anything at all. Speed Champions, Porsche, minifigure there, SC106, nice. Clone Trooper, SW201 in that one. Kind of a classic-y space kind of feel to this one, with one of those magnetic brackets. They have been popular this last couple of days. In fact, cleared out 1 in this one, and I think 5 in another order. A control panel there, trans neon studs, a dark grey wedge plate as well in that one. Larger order here, a whole heap of black, and then white, red, blue, some light blue grey, and some other pieces in that. Don't know, that one feels like that could be kind of castle-y to me. I don't know why, or pirates. Don't know why. Just has that kind of feel to me. Interesting small transparent canopy. Some other interesting parts. A bit of orange. For some reason that makes me think of that Marvel ship could be anything though. And then light blue grey parts within that, and there was about 3 of those little kind of, not sure what you actually call them, in there that were used. Here are the rest of those magnet holders. There's a couple of magnets in that order as well, some Technic pins and some circular plates. Clearing me out of what I usually just think of as the PlayStation controllers, all in black. I did find a dark blue grey one in amongst everything there as well. This one is, are they trans-satin sparkly pink? Don't know, bricks. Anyway, 10 of them. Russell adding to his city with the kiosk corner, which obviously came with the Tudor house. I listed it because I pretty much keep the Tudor building, the modular buildings for my collection. Another domestic letter, a couple of Technic bricks, a couple of other parts, pretty straightforward. More straightforwardness, white, light blue and dark blue grey in that one. The one order that came in overnight, some hands, leg assembly, a door and some other parts. That probably has a classic space feel, doesn't it? And then the very orderly one, a bit glary in here with the sunlight, isn't it? A 6x6 black plate tile at the back there, and then it's kind of black and dark blue grey all the way. There are a couple of light blue grey. There's kind of triangular tiles in there, but that's it really. It is very limited palette, which means we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 orders over the last 2 days, which is pretty decent average, panning out like 9 a day, which is keeping February feeling like a really good target. We're in fact up on the average sales of the previous month. We are pretty much where I thought we would be in terms of average sales. We're a couple of sales behind hitting February last year's target. The average sale price is up on last year, so all of the metrics that I like to nerd out on are doing nicely, which is good. I actually found, I don't know whether I've said this already, you may remember a while back I was bemoaning the fact that I couldn't find some 1x8 tiles in my inventory. Found them. They were in another storage box. So having sorted out all of the overflow on the weekend in last week's vlog, I found a box which was labelled as an OF box because it does have some overflow in it, which I've also been using for overflow parts as opposed to just overflow. So those wedge plates are listed as overflow, but there's a whole bunch of other things here which should be elsewhere. Jumper plates, things like that. These things are listed as overflow in the inventory, but the other parts, these tan tiles, I don't know whether they're listed as overflow here. Anyway, I need to go through this box at some point and sort that out to make sure that we're on board with that. And then round the corner there is the Kmart shelves, go spit it out man, drawers to replace this one, which will be a weekend job because I need to label all of these and then resequence them, so it goes from 971 and this one starts at 981, and obviously 981 is currently in a spotlight drawer, so it won't fit into a Kmart drawer because the Kmart drawers are slightly wider, which is annoying, but it's just the reality, and vice versa. The Kmart ones are too wide to fit into the spotlight drawers. The only other thing that has really gone on was the thing that I usually say I'm never going to do, but obviously at the weekend there was a lot of minifigure action, especially in the 7.5 373 battle pack, the Ambush on Mandalore battle pack, clearing out of the Imperial Commandos, and I was looking on, and the Snowtroopers, and I've definitely been on the hunt for these, given that they are becoming quite scarce in the wild. Definitely hard to find on clearance and stuff like that, so I've been keeping an eye out on Marketplace for those. And then yesterday, a guy that I've bought a couple of things from previously popped up selling a whole bunch of them. Did a cracking deal, under way under what I wanted, what I was prepared to pay for them, which is great. So that's 10 and 10 and 3 snow troopers, so 23 battle packs there to part out. Again, gonna have to be a weekend job, that one, but it does mean that we're going to be putting back in a whole load of minifigures, and obviously those 501sts, they do all right. I will go through and check what I have got and what I haven't got, so that I'm not duplicating. I was on a call, one of the guys, I think it's Brick Matt from New Zealand. He often parts out every part of the minifigure, so he's taking the arms and the hands off and stuff like that, and breaking them down at that level. So I'm conscious that I've got quite a lot of those Mandalorian warriors already in stock, so that could be one that gets broken down a little bit more to go into the store, but we shall see once I get stuck into that. But again, weekend job. There's a few parcels floating around, there's a whole lot of packaging that needs to come. We are under the 50 mark for the mini boxes. They are on the way, they have been shipped, which is good. Qui-Gon Jinn saga, I did sneakily order quite a few before the main story broke. I think I ordered about 7 from different buyers who have had them in stock for a long time. We shall see if I get lucky, or whether or not I just strike out and I've got a lot of Qui-Gon Jinns kicking around forevermore. Who knows? Obviously that figure has skyrocketed up to, we were kicking around the 420 mark. It has settled significantly as more people have got it in their inventory. Let's go and have a look what it is actually, why don't we? Okay, so not many people have got one online. There's only 3, ranging from 300 with, never heard of them, MCTDM, they had theirs at about 425 to kick off with. Theirs comes down. And Westralia Brick Co, never heard of them. They could well be a new brick store, couldn't they? Yeah, 2 feedback. Don't have a lot going on, but they do have that. What have they got? Polybag, Scatwalker, Command Station. Just a few Star Wars things. There you go. Anyway, just a couple of those things listed. 3 there. Whole load in America, ranging to the ridiculous at $698, which will be driving up the average. What, only 2 in Europe? Yeah, it's still pretty hard to find. I've seen a few on Marketplace kicking around, or on vlogs. 1 in New Zealand, Canterbury Bricks. Yeah, not a great quantity of them, which is great. Anyway, I've got some of those coming, so we shall see if I get lucky or not. Fingers crossed, you never know. Might have got a winner. Obviously I sold that minifigure head before I'd even figured out what was going on. That's the way it goes. Everything is there to be sold, isn't it? So you sell it for what you thought it was worth at the time, and that's just the way it goes. Anyway, postage to do. Most of the labels are done. It's just this last little bunch that needs to get done and packed up and put away, and then I'll get this off to the post office at lunchtime, and we'll see what comes in through the rest of the day. I've got 1 shipping quote already in. Do need to have a little bit of a tidy up. I want to kind of clear this area over here, get things a bit more sorted. The bin's been emptied, which is always a good thing, and there's no recycling to do, but I do want to kind of have a bit of a clean down, and then get this job done and get the Gorilla Glue, rest in peace, shelves tidied away as well, so that we can get a bit more of a normality back in here. So that's where we're at. Bear with me, I know it's a bit of a chat fest, but just catching you up. Thursday evening, six orders in, one pending, so 7 technically. We shall see if that one transpires. Predominantly small orders, easy picks, that's for sure. First one is all the same part really, in 4 different colours: dark tan, light blue grey, tan and dark blue grey, and that is clearing me out in all 4 colours, so that's a good one. Small parts order, white, bright pink, trans, probably some kind of vehicle, one would assume. Again, 4 parts, 2 panels, 1 Technic brick and a plate. Interesting blue parts in that one, mainly slopes and some other hinge parts. Feel like I kind of know what that one is, but couldn't quite pinpoint it. Very Star Warsy feeling one here, including the 40 years of Return of the Jedi brick, which is good. And Russell, more city action, obviously doing some kind of pavement. CMF 27 Cupid, a can't remember what the figure is, but anyway, it's him with the overalls and a couple of headgears there. So yeah, 6 done, all the labels are done on all of that. 3 more parts order boxes have arrived. I haven't had a look in those, I have had a look in that one, and we've got a order from a store there, a couple more possibly arriving tomorrow, which will make for a decent upload at the weekend, which would be important because we are taking a bit of a beating, as you can probably guess, on the back of the numbers that I was going through yesterday. Was it yesterday? Still haven't done anything with that, kind of delaying everything for the weekend. Figured out today that Monday coming is actually a public holiday, which is a bonus, because I've got some work that I need to do over the weekend, as well as store work, so good chance to try and catch up on a few things. And gonna get this post done now. Generally orders have been peppering in kind of in the afternoons. None have eventuated today, so perhaps kind of end of the month a bit slower. What is it, the 27th, so technically tomorrow is the last day of February. February's been a decent month, order quantities and things like that, cannot grumble at all on that front. But obviously beginning of the month perhaps has stretched people after a fairly solid January and February, hasn't it? Certainly in this world anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at. Get that done, and then kind of I'm gonna have a little nosy in these boxes and see what parts are in there, just so I've got an idea heading into the weekend. But literally, you know, a little bit like last week, this week's really just a case of trying to get through everything that I need to try and do to keep things moving, leaving feedback, filling in the PayPal stuff, and just staying on top of the basic admin to allow me more time at the weekend to actually do the hard yards of store operations. So let's crack on with this, and then we'll see what else there is to finish off before I call it a night. Friday morning and no orders in overnight. It's not often that happens, but it is February 28th, so the end of the month, and perhaps payday, start of the year, all of that stuff. March, obviously tomorrow, a whole bunch of new sets, and all of that could well be impacting. Only thing happened overnight was, you may remember this minifigure, certainly as it was the only one I had at the time. I photographed it for those 2 buyers that inquired on Brick Owl, sent them both the photos, this being that photo, make of it what you will. I certainly felt it was reddish brown from the colours that I was seeing in front of me. It certainly did not look dark brown to me, and still does not, if I'm honest. Anyway, the buyer that bought it was in Ireland. The mailing address was in Sydney. That was purchased, when was that? Last Friday, perhaps? So it would have been shipped out Saturday at the very best. Got a message this morning, so that's a week ago, to say it is not the part that was photographed. You've sent me a different part. It was the only one I had. Always good not to make accusations in an email to buyers. A word to the wise, buyers. Your seller is instantly going to think, really? Because I'm going to be honest with you, 99.9% of sellers are not trying to stiff you. Anyway, yeah, so I've sent him a part that wasn't the one that I photographed, and he wants a refund. So I said, not a problem, happy to refund by return. Now, there is no way in the world that this part has gone from WA to New South Wales and from New South Wales to Ireland in 5 days. It just doesn't happen. It takes 5 days to get from here to New South Wales. So I said, not a problem, happy to refund, as I always am, if you return the item. To which he has said, returning it would cost more than it would to refund it, which is not true, because it would be $1.50 to return it. So make of that what you will. I did resend the photograph as proof that it was the same part, and we'll leave it at that, shall we? Yeah, it's things like that that can potentially spoil your day, but I stand by it. That was a reddish brown head, sold for $8 something. I didn't try to get out of the deal, even though I'd figured out how much it was. I didn't try to be shifty with it or anything like that, because it was the only one I had. But you wanted a refund, happy to refund it if you send it back from New South Wales, which is where it can only have gotten to in 5 days. Anyway, happy Friday, welcome to it. As I say, no orders in overnight. I have got work to do. The vast majority of people are very, very happy with everything that's going on, so stick that in your pipe. Parts, I had a look at them last night. Pretty good stuff to add in to the store once we get there. Post to run today. I might start doing a part out of the Ambush on Mandalore battle pack. It's a small part, isn't it? It should be easy to tick off. But other than that, jobs that need doing over the weekend, other than a project that I need to get started and finished in the weekend, because that's just the way we roll when we're trying to fund the greatest store expansion ever recorded on YouTube. Not really, is it? It's just the way I'm trying to hype myself up. Is I also need to get this bundle of used sorted. The blinds are closed, that's why you're getting this dramatic film noir lighting. This bucket of used light blue grey that was from the Millennium Falcon sorted. I do want to eventually try and sort out these 2 tubs of parts. Actually make that 3, because there's one over there, isn't there? These tubs of parts that are just kicking around on the desk, because they do kind of get in the way day to day. Turn that over so no one can see an address. And other than that, the place needs a tidy up. There's some recycling to do. Everyone will be delighted to hear that. And yeah, just try and catch up on general stuff, and maybe try and do a part out video for the week. It's been a while since I've done one. We are taking a bit of a pounding. We're down to 14,553, and parts wise we are all the way down to 621. I haven't even looked where we should have been to be starting March. But I do once we get into March, which will be tomorrow, I will be able to redo the projections for the year ahead. And I'll probably share those with you tomorrow when we've got a little bit more meat on the bone of that story. So I'm not sure what will happen during the day. Friday, usually there's some orders that kind of tick along during the day, but not much else to report, is there? So I'll leave it there for now, and I'll check back in once I've got something to say that's on a bit more positive note. So everyone breathe. So I've sorted all of the parts, ready for uploading tomorrow, 1st of March, so this will form part of March's assault on the 1 million parts. So what have we got? Highlights. Let's just do the highlights, because you don't want to be bored with the ins and outs of all of the parts. There's some good staples, your 2x plates, there's some leg assemblies and a couple of colours. There are some interesting parts in terms of some blue rails, some more boats, some Technic axles, pretty tough to come by, some new parts in terms of some transgreen leaves, some top hats, some more leg assemblies. What else we got? Good staples, you know how those go. Some more rails, some bright green things, minifigure stands, always a good one. More staples, you know how that goes. What else we got down here? Things that would be good for modular builds, dark blue bricks, masonry parts, bigger tiles, some trans, some white minifigure stands. Yeah, you get the idea. Kind of just bog standard kind of parts that go well and are replenishing things that just come out of the store regularly. There are a few things that need to be added to the ranks of that. So for instance, my inventory for the minifigure stands says there are none in the store, yet I have this little bunch in its place. Equally, there was another thing. Where are they? 4x6 plates in light blue grey. Again, that one says there are none in the store, and I have a little bundle of them over here, so they need to be added in as well. So there's a few things like that kind of happen as you are ticking along, and I know for a fact that down here I have those 1x8 tiles that I need to add in tomorrow as well. All of these things are just jobs that need ticking off and adding as we go along. So I'm going to get all of this kind of prepped and put away today whilst I've got time, but the file won't actually be added to the store until tomorrow, when we kick off kind of the first of the month. So let's get stuck into getting that done. It is Saturday morning. Picking. Regular buyer, Damien, kind of removed some parts, added some parts to this over the week. But this is definitely the first time I've seen this warning come up on Brick Freedom. Failed its integrity check, removed from the pick sheet. We advise picking this order directly from the appropriate platform. Interesting. Given that I know Damien, he's bought from me more than 20, 30, don't know how many times to be honest, and does local pickup and all of that. It is going to let me pick the order. You know, it's only 38 lots, 123 parts. It's not a huge order, they never are. It's just kind of, you know, he's doing his little things that he does, and you know, it's cool. We have a little chat, so it's a trusted buyer. But yeah, first time I've ever seen that on the warning, isn't it? Anyway, just thought I'd share that. What else? I have been picking, and we'll go through those when I'm done. Got one more to do after Damien's, and then it's going to be into battle packs, picking all of them, getting them done. The other thing that did happen this week was packaging arrived, plenty of it. There's some more wedged in there as well. I've always bought mine from Ozpack, and they've always been really good, but I was buying like $300 worth of packaging supplies, so my mini boxes, my domestic leather flat small boxes, and big boxes. I was going to buy two sizes. It was about $300 worth, as I say, and the postage was coming up as $284 as well, which seemed ridiculous. And you can buy Ozpack stuff on Amazon as well, where the postage was $88, so it was like nearly $200 cheaper. And to be fair, I reached out to Ozpack and said, is this right? Because this looks you know, such a disparity, to which they just replied, so yeah, that's the cost. So I obviously didn't pay $200 more than I needed to. As it turns out, they're not exactly the same boxes, which these large boxes are a wee bit bigger, which doesn't really matter. And I've only bought one type of large box, so usually I have two, 85mm deep one and 105mm deep one. I've only bought the one type because you can only get them in a pack of 300, which is why there's some stuffed around the corner. But the domestic letter ones are a little bit nicer, if anything. The die cut holes are circular, if that would focus, which makes it easier to get the tabs in, and it has this little foldy over bit, which is quite nice. Anyway, that's that. Those ones are exactly the same, no change in those. But yeah, not that I'm turning into a whinging old git at the moment, but I just thought I'd share that thing, because it's kind of, I don't know, it was just something that bugged me in the week. You'd be also interested to know is the buyer with the minifigure head has blocked me on all channels, having been my bestest buddy for all of 5 minutes, which again raises the alarm that was perhaps a little bit dubious, to be all in and then, you know, block me everywhere. Maybe they just want to have a bitch and a moan about me, and what they feel was the circumstances. But meanwhile, Mrs. Yellow Brick Road is doing kind of breaking down things that have been in containers where they've got a little bit overflowing. So I'm not sure what we call these, but dark red, black. I think they were meant to be red. No, dark red. Yep. Anyway, those have all got separated out, and she's doing kind of curved tiles at the moment for me, so that picking is a little bit smoother on an evening, and the colour differences between dark reds and reddish brown and things like that, I don't make any mistakes when I'm picking, when it's a little bit later in the evenings and stuff like that. Anyway, rambling on, get on with it. Okay, all done and dusted. What are we at? 9 orders, so it says. Anyway, we got a couple of Speed Champions drivers and a couple of hair pieces in there, a couple of more Pharrell Williams head pieces there, generally Speed Champions looking parts and Speed Champions windscreens as well, a Mandalorian in actual Mando there, along with some other parts predominantly white, a couple of parts from the classic Jango Fett's Slave, a Geonosis leg assembly, a Technic all the way colourful little array of parts in there. This is Damien's collection selection. Again, kind of, I know he does do an awful lot of Speed Champions when he's not doing his kind of his Marvel Sanctum. So this one looks like it's in the Speed Champions space. Star Warsy, those are those tiles from the Mando battle packs, in fact, along with some trans items. And then the largest order is an awful lot of light blue grey, some tan, dark tan, a lot of white, a little bit of red, and a smattering of dark red, some dark blue grey, a little selection of dark blue, blue, dark azure, reddish brown, yellow, some medium nougat, a couple of glow in the darks, some black, and some light grey in there. That one getting the tile, so I need to add that to that. So that's the 9 all done, which is pretty good. Obviously first day of the month, so we've kicked off nicely there. I'm gonna do part out after this. I'm gonna do the Mando battle packs part out, quick and easy one, just to get things underway for the month. I did put away those parts from yesterday. That is the stuff that needs reallocating from that little array. Just grab the tile to go with Leanne's order. Remember to put that in amongst it. So if I go over here, 2, 3, 2. If we go into this little array, what we can see is where we fared for the month. So all of the stats are now updated based on our start point for the month, which is we are starting at where are we? Let's go to the store. This is the way we go. We are starting at 573,000. It wasn't 50, so all of the uploads and things like that got reset. Our sell-through percentage rate for February, the target was 5%. We actually sold 6.7% of inventory in the month, so that was higher. Our postage costs were way over 14%. It was 21%. So some of that has been recalibrated into this, which gives us a upload target of 36,500 parts for March, 70,250 if we were trying to get to 1,000,000 parts. The revenue targets for March would be 9,455,000 for the month, and the parts to be sold for the month, if it's 5%, is just 28,653. We actually sold 37,634 in February. So as you can see, actual revenue was way ahead of projection, and parts sold was absolutely out of the park of both lines. So that is pretty outstanding, which is all very, very technical, isn't it? But doesn't really need to be, does it? Which means the long and the short of that is that can get these tidied away, do the domestic letter labels, which are these 4 along the front. The other 4 are packaging, domestic letter. That's obviously pick up. Damien's going to get that tomorrow. Can do this reallocation now that I've picked all the orders. Do this sorting out that the missus has been helping with, which is good. She's currently working on curved tiles, quarter circle tiles, and then I can kind of get the cups out to do this part out, which should be pretty quick and easy. So let's crack on with that, and then I'll catch you up on what the size of that upload that I did first thing this morning was. Okay, done that, put it away. Only 1,000 odd parts, so not too bad. Also put 2 of those into the store. I know kind of there's a new gift with insiders points, gift with purchase. I'm not sure how you classify it, which kind of locks onto that set. So maybe there might be some additional interest in those. Don't know, but yes, inventory for that one, 1,065 parts. Parted out some of the Mandalorian figures, the headgear, helmets, backpacks type situation. Decent enough, kind of. I had a few of them in stock anyway, so parted those out. And as promised, kind of yesterday's sorting and then this morning's upload pretty much worked out about 8,931 parts, 74 lots, which was pretty decent. It took us up to, where are we? Well, wherever we are now. But interestingly, I was just looking at the top 10 versus where we were kind of earlier in the year, and it's quite a change. It's not the easiest way to show this, but kind of beginning of January, there I was sitting in 7th, and here we are at the beginning of March, I'm down in 9th. Queensland Bricks has appeared with 1 million parts, 1,038,000. It's pretty precise. They've been around a while, clearly, because they've got a fair amount of feedback and a lot of parts, which is fairly substantial, isn't it? Anyway, they've jumped in at number 2, giving Bricks Warehouse a bit of a run for their money for sure, which is really nice to see. I don't know whether I'm banned from Queensland Bricks or not. I haven't tried. But other interesting moves is Jace Bricks Whether they were closed when I did this or not, I don't know. I'd need to go back and have a look at some older ones, but they weren't showing at all on there. And then they've jumped in at 650,000 parts, which would have put them up above Brick Den on this chart. And the other big mover is Goldie Bricks Zone, who were down here at 554. They have moved up to 575, so a good 20,000 parts added in, with decent amount of stuff gone on there in terms of feedback and stuff like that. So good little motivation. In terms of their lots, they've gone from 12,600 to 12,900, so 300 odd lots added. So yeah, they're a good little mover. Not much else really changed on that chart, but definitely a big move with Queensland Bricks. And now I'm fascinated to know whether or not I'm still banned on Bricks Warehouse. I bet I am. I'm sure I am, eh? Things don't change overnight, do they? Let's see if I can add that to the cart. No, seller refuses to service and placed you on a stop list. You don't get triggered. Don't get triggered. That's what they say, isn't it? Anyway, where does that leave us? Let's have a little looky see. So that little lot added in puts us up to 574 and 83 parts, which means in terms of this month's target of 36,500, we are already almost 10,000 parts along the way. It looks pretty shoddy on the chart, obviously, because we're way down on where we need to be, but not bad for day one, is it? One order has come in on Brick Owl. It is only 4 parts, so I'm going to pick that one, and then that'll be me cleared the decks for the day, and I shall call it a day, but I'll show you that one before I knock off. Quick and easy, 4 parts, 4 lots, sticker sheet from the new Ghost, and 3 10 parts, and that's it. That wraps it up, takes it to 10, sitting here waiting to roll. Nice and easy. Just need to put those away in the cupboard. I won't be going up on the ladder because there's no room up there, and as you can imagine, there's a bit of debris laying around that needs tidied up, but that could well be a tomorrow job. Anyway, job done for today. Maybe do some recording in the morning. If not, I'll just be pumping the vlog out. So thanks for watching. If not, don't forget to like and subscribe. Apologies for the rants, and sorry if this week's been a little bit short on action, but as I explained kind of a little while ago, things are a little bit busy at the moment, and pulled in a few different directions as we try and push towards that new landmarks. So hopefully next week we'll have a bit more of a rhythm going.